this video I've been saving as a main event. A full-on Gacha goon video, man. Go ahead, it's free. 3D model geniuses won't stop revealing everything. Yep, I'm telling you, man, it don't matter. It don't matter. Zenless Zone Zero's game state, I don't care. Their models are rigged so perfectly that the sheer amount of goonage that has come out of this game is shocking. And now they're starting to hit their stride. Like the goonology, gooning. It's like W for Wumbo on Patrick's belt. Goonboing, the study of gooning. This is the game that took everything to the next level.
I keep learning 3D industry secrets to apply to my own 3D models, and it's all because anime gacha games like Zenless make their character models available for absolutely free.
It's
There's
insane.
so much we can learn just by loading their model into Blender, and I'll share some of those things with you today, including this genius rigging technique. Now, a lot of people were struggling to get their hands on these free models.
Hoyo knows what they were doing.
So if you need help with that, I can show you right now. But if you just want to skip to the good stuff, this is the time.
Okay.
Anyways, to
I don't care.
This is what impressed me the most. This is a tech that has caught my eye recently, which I will call the Miracle Bone. This is what it does. When you move it, it moves both hips.
Oh my god!
The thigh bones are parented to it. That's
damn, bro!
This moves. Which, by the way, this thigh bone system is not something you see every day. Usually, everything is put into this bone right here, but actually, this green bone on top is what controls the actual leg moving. And then this bone right here, it just controls the internal and external rotation of the upper leg. Similar thing going on with this. This does not come with the default meta rig that comes with Blender. This is that custom stuff. And if you're wondering, they have 4 pairs of jiggle bones. This top one is for the
Quadra jiggle,
area, and it's parented to that hip controller bone. These bottom 3
Quadra
are connected to the leg bone instead. And this one is the bottom of the butt, and we've got one specifically for
Hoyoverse knew what they were doing.
Cheek crease area and a little bit of
there is no way they didn't know what they were doing.
There are thigh jiggle bones as well, right here, connected right to the thigh main bone, which is crazy. If you've seen her animations in-game, you know that all this has physics. And actually, we can kind of replicate that right now if you want to see. I showed you how to install the Wiggle Bones add-on earlier. So over here in object mode, I'm just going to click the bone tab. I'm going to make sure Wiggle Bone is checked. Then I'll go over to pose mode. All of these bones, can I just select all of them? I'm going to enable the Wiggle Bone.
And then what happens when you
Now, this actually has a bunch of settings that you can control exactly how much jiggle you want. I'm not going to play around with that right now.
Put it on max.
I'm going to select, again, the hip controller bone. If I press the play button, I can see it animate in real time.
Okay. Oh my god! That's insane! Yo, crank that shit up to 50.
Wow.
Bro, I need to learn how to do this.
MMD model, so I'm not sure that they have this functionality in the actual game itself. For those that are not aware, MMD is just when like they make the character dance to certain songs, and that's quote unquote the real reason that Hoyo released these models.
Yeah.
That's why I highly speculate that these models probably have different optimizations when it comes to the actual game. And
they wanted people to make them dance.
I'd imagine this would be so useful for like any dance move.
Just like Overwatch, man.
Catwalking animations.
100%.
This is just a one-stop solution for all that movement going on back there. Looks like they have one for the calf as well.
Shame on you for thinking something different, chat. Nah, they're just a good, wholesome company.
Seems to be parented to this bone.
That's why they needed four jiggle bones to dance.
Bro, almost 20 months while
I'm not going to be demonstrating this one today.
Why?
Because we have other stuff to cover.
Oh my god, come on, bro.
Let's take a look at our mesh. And as someone said before, you can select all with A, and then you can use tris to quads, or Alt J, to untriangulate it, so you can see all the quads.
Yeah, untriangulate the moves
right now because
this makes sense. Now I get it.
These modelers,
very educational.
Let me tell you what they do. Let me see if you can see. But their topology is so precise that every accessory and clothing piece is lined up. Usually, you'd think like it wouldn't matter where they place the texturing or the details of these like strap thingies, they literally align the topology right to it. It might be better when it's all orange like this that you can see. Like this goes all around that strap. There's a strap that goes around here, and they cut this topology in. And for this, they need to specify which direction the triangles are facing, or else it might not line up like this. This is not without its purpose. Like, it's gonna pay off. The payoff is that if you don't do this, the textures will be pinched in between faces, which will lead to deformations that don't look good when the character moves a certain way. Related to that point, any clothing that's skin tight, it's literally just textured in. If you're like me, you might have been using this easier but much less efficient method where if you have any skin tight clothing, you just duplicate all of the faces of the body in that area.
Yeah, simple stuff. We all know this.
That, for example, these pants.
Yeah, we all know this.
It doesn't matter too much if you delete the body faces under afterwards, like after you rig it. But these guys save literally every single vertex that they can. And to prevent it from getting flat, you've noticed they extrude it at certain areas. Like this is the exact location where this went from being flat to having that slightly extruded detail.
Yeah.
See where else. So this belt strap thing, flat and right onto the skin.
Why don't we show the miracle bone again?
Extrudes out. And that's something we can all appreciate because we've come so far from the days where everything was just textured onto the model. Now there's so much effort in putting even the so many tiny details modeled out like this. That just makes me wonder, what was their process? Like, did they just slide the edges and make knife cuts after texturing? Or did they topologize first and then use the UV lines as guides when texturing?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Viable possibilities, I suppose. As usual, her facial expressions are controlled by shape keys. As someone mentioned, we can have these translated. The one I used kind of failed, but it did give me most of them. Maybe you'll have better luck with a better translator if you decide to do that. Now here's something a little unusual.
What?
They didn't do this one with the Jane one, but the eyes are not shape keyed. They're actually armature rigged. Did they do this for Jane? I actually don't know. Same with the brows too. I don't think there's a shape key for the brows. They just have it controlled by these two bones.
Seems good.
Again, if you look at her bangs, like around this area, definitely around here, you can see it's semi-transparent. And if you want to mimic that in Blender, use a different material for specifically only the parts that you want to be semi-transparent.
Wait, can we go back to the miracle bone? I was more interested in that.
And copy my node set up here. We're just mixing the image texture with a transparent BSDF and using mapping to control where the hair starts fading out. And with the color ramp, we can control how tight we want it. And how see-through we want it to get. Make sure your blend mode is set to alpha hashed or alpha blend, or else you won't see any transparency. Okay, look at this.
I want to see the rigging on Tartalia's cock from Genshin Impact, because that should be jiggling every single time he puts his bow away. Every time.
This part, like the hair, it's actually transparent. Wait. Hold on. I think we might have caught Hoyoverse lacking this time.
Wait. You can just make the clothes appear?
Hold up. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. I'm surprised it even got to like halfway. You know?
Damn, dude.
Here's another random small thing I noticed.
Wait, try for the ass.
We got this cone thing that plugs up this entire inside, prevents you from seeing it. And actually, I see why they did this now. Because from here, it's not a flat plane.
Yeah, huge Hoyo L. Huge Hoyo L.
It's flat. And they've called the back faces, which is why it's invisible when you see it from the inside, but not on the outside. So they cover that up. We're saving a lot of faces on these parts that we know will never bend, like this part of the forearm, this part of the bicep. The calves and thighs have physics, so makes sense why those are
the
not,
calf
like,
physics was something I was never expecting to see in a video game.
The forearm. They've also got these twist bones, which come in like halfway, and the purpose of these is just to offload some of the twisting on the wrist to the forearm. Because in real life, when your wrist twists, your forearm also twists. So if you don't have that, like here, see how I'm moving it from the wrist? It's gonna get real unnatural, even going to a wrist up position.
It's got making me reconsider how my body works.
That's what the forearm twist bone is for. See how much more natural that is? They got one for the bicep as well.
Wow, that's so
what
cool.
That twist bone has control over. Anyways, that will be it for today. Hope you enjoyed our little study session. There's always...
Yeah, I would have liked it better if he made the boobs jiggle. Anyways, that was a really long-winded way of saying that these characters were rigged to be made porn of. That's my TED Talk.